What's up, Cougar fans? Jake Brandon here, back again with the Big 12 breakdown. I'm joined by Kevin Humphreys, who's actually probably the biggest ball knower here in the room, breaking it all down. And he's got a laptop, so he can cheat a lot faster, than, well, Craig's got a computer too. He can cheat, but they're both smarter than me tonight because they can cheat. But we're going to be breaking down our Week 5 matchups in the Big 12. Some good games there, some games that were telling, and then also some games that were just absolutely lopsided and blowouts there. Give us an updated look at everything, and then maybe we can preview some of the matchups that we're going to see this weekend for Week 6, and a lot of big spreads coming up this weekend for all you degenerate sports gamblers out there, but also means probably some lopsided matchups again, but there'll be a few telling matchups there as well. So Kev, let's break down Week 5 Big 12 matchups. What happened here?
All right, first let's start with TCU, Arizona State.
Yeah, pretty important game. This was all TCU.
Yep.
For the first, 3 quarters?
They got out to a 17-0 lead.
Mm-hmm.
Then late in the second quarter, Arizona State came alive, scored 14. To make it a game at halftime, and then from there it was a dogfight. It was the second half was. There was a lot going on. I believe Hoover threw a couple interceptions.
He had a bad fumble and a bad pick on his last 2 drives, which is what really killed the whole kind of thing they had going on.
Yeah, and Arizona State was missing field goals. Jesus Gomez, who had the game winner the week before, missed his first 2 field goals as well. So it was just kind of a sloppy game overall, but when Arizona State needed it, they drove the ball down the field, got the ball to Jordan Tyson. Sam Levitt did it with his arms and his legs, and they were able to pull out a gutsy win against a team that was ranked in the top 25.
Yeah, and I think if you're a TCU fan, you got to be a little bit frustrated because you had a dominating lead, and it was really errors that cost you that game. A game you very easily could have won. Hoover has looked absolutely fantastic at times through his career, so it's a little bit of a letdown to see him struggle on those 2 clutch kind of close it out possessions there. And then, man, Arizona State, their only loss is to Mississippi State, who took Tennessee into overtime and honestly looked better than Tennessee for big stretches of that game.
Yeah, Tennessee scored 2 defensive touchdowns in that game, which really helped them, but Mississippi State really shut down what is believed to be one of the best offenses in the country.
Yeah.
So, they scored a touchdown in overtime. I think it was 34-34 at the end of.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And 14 of those points came off of defensive touchdowns. And so, Mississippi State's a good team.
Yeah.
And so
it's a quality loss, we'll say.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt Arizona State as much as it felt in the moment when they lost. It was they lost to a team that went 2-10 last year, or whatever Mississippi State did. But that's a much better program. They're very competitive. They'll be competitive in most of their SEC games for the rest of the season. So, and that's a game that Arizona State should have won.
Yeah, and it's this is a good if you're an Arizona State fan, because you've got a gutsy come from behind win against a quality conference opponent, and it's without Cam Skattebo, right? Because everyone last year is oh, Skattebo, and he did come up clutch for them in many moments that were similar to this. But Dillingham's a good coach, and Levitt can throw the ball. Tyson's one of the best out there to do it, and it seems like their defense has got some guys who just create turnovers and make plays.
Yeah, and for Arizona State, Raleek Brown, he's not Cam Skattebo. But Raleek Brown,
great running back,
has rushed for, let me pull up his last 5 games. So in his last 5 games, he's rushed for 134, 80, 144, 110, and then rushed for 38 yards, but on only 5 carries in the opening game of the season. So he's not Cam Skattebo, but I think they still have a top 3 or 4 back production-wise in the Big 12 this season. So their run game is really good. Levitt's kind of starting to come out of the funk that he was in early in the season. And Kenny Dillingham just says one, he's a great coach, especially like end of game scenarios. And two, he has Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson, which Jordan Tyson
Cheat code.
is a cheat code. He's the best receiver in the Big 12, I think, by far, and he might be the best receiver in the country. So they're dangerous. They play Utah coming up. They're
2 weeks, I think. Oh, it's
Yeah.
after their bye. So yeah, in 2 weeks.
So like dangerous team to play, because if those three guys are healthy, like that's a great 1, 2, 3 headed monster in the Big 12.
Yeah, and I think we can kind of, now that we've seen this, and they got to play Utah. I don't know who else is on their schedule, but I think you got to put them in a contender category.
I think so.
They're right back where they were last year, I feel like.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and
they're getting better.
they are getting there. Yeah, they seem to be getting better on defense, especially too.
Yeah.
So Arizona State, scary team to look for. That was a great win from them. Who's next, Kev?
Let's go with probably the most fun game of Saturday was Cincinnati, Kansas.
That was a fun game.
And I have a stat that might make your jaw drop if you weren't super clued in on this game. So Jalen Daniels completed 6 out of his first 10 passes in the first half. And how many yards do you think he threw for?
Man, I'm trying to think back to this game. 100.
194 yards.
On 6 passes.
On 6 completions, 10 total passes.
So explosive.
Yeah. And that's how both of these quarterbacks were. I mean, you look at the box score to this game. Brendan Sorsby had 388 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jalen Daniels, a cool 19 of 28 for 445 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And they lost.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
Just not enough time at the end.
Yeah, that's really what it was. I did watch a good chunk of this game on our little road trip.
Yeah.
And dude, yeah, it's all credit to Cincinnati. I don't want to downplay Cincinnati.
Right.
Really, they played Nebraska tough too.
No, they're a good team.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
And that's a good win for them.
Yeah, on the road, Kansas's stadium. I mean, it looked packed. It was beautiful. And I mean, these teams were just throwing the ball around the yard. It was, I mean, I had it up on the quad box. Every time I looked up, it was like just someone running up and down the field. Like it was one of those classic Big 12 games where, honestly, the only analysis that I can really give is 2 good teams, and whoever scored the ball last, well,
had possessed the ball last.
Yeah, whoever possessed the ball last with a real shot. Like Kansas had like a desperation, like 30 seconds.
Second drive, yeah.
But the last team that had the ball to really go down and make a drive was going to win the game, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and I think we go to Cincinnati at the end of this stretch, and I love our defense, so I'm not going to put anything past it. But I think we're going to have to show up and play ball. Like there's no gimme game there for us.
Yeah, I think Sorsby, really was mostly known as a runner.
Yeah,
I feel like coming into this season, and he's shown that he's improved in the passing game. Cincinnati's probably no one really looks at them as a contender, but it's definitely, they're good enough to get anyone on the right game. So whether it's, I believe they play Utah and BYU, and maybe they play Texas Tech or an Arizona State down the road. So, don't be surprised if Cincinnati's leading one of those games late.
Yeah, I believe it. And let me see Kansas. Kansas still got to go at Tech, which will be tough. Kansas State, a little bit of a rivalry thing there, So
Kansas State's beat them like 15 years in a row or something like that. So if there's ever a year for Kansas to...
Yeah, Kansas got it tough, man.
Yeah.
So they got the rival. So they got at Tech. I mean, they've got UCF before then. I think they'll beat UCF just fine. They go at Tech, which is tough. Then the rivalry game. They'll have Oklahoma State at home, which they'll win.
Yep.
But then they go at Arizona, at Iowa State, home to Utah. That's their last 3 games.
Okay.
And Arizona is beatable, but I think Arizona's defense is, like we've talked about before, is better than we thought. I mean, they didn't really show that this week, but they're tough. But at Iowa State and then Utah at home, and they can be in all those games with their offense.
Yeah,
I wouldn't write them out of even Tech. They could hang with Tech and make something happen. You never know.
Right.
That's a tough stretch for them.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Daniels was a preseason Big 12 Player of the Year in his past, so he's
Oh,
dangerous.
he's good,
And
man.
BYU's seen that firsthand,
Yeah.
2023 and 2024. Like, they shut him down for the most part last season, but he made enough
He
plays
made enough to win, man.
to get it done.
And Cincinnati, they're going to host Iowa State. Then they host UCF. Then they're at Oklahoma State. They host Baylor. They host Utah. They host Arizona. They host BYU. And then they're at TCU. So
I will say maybe I didn't think that they were a contender, but and I'm not sure how good that defense is, but a lot of those games I feel like they should win. Like
I think they beat UCF. They beat Oklahoma State, in my mind.
Yeah. Arizona.
They beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
And like, can they pick off like one of the three good teams on their schedule?
Hey, if they pick off Utah, I'll be super happy for them.
Well, and Iowa State's playing at Cincinnati, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's definitely like, I have that one game. I have that game circled for a potential, Iowa State slip up.
Yeah, well, that's this Saturday, 10 a.m. if you're in Mountain Standard. So,
all right,
that'd be a good one.
All right. Let's see. Anything else on that game before we?
No, I think that's pretty good synopsis on both those teams.
Okay. Kansas State beat UCF.
That's
34-20. Kansas State was dominant for a good chunk of this game, it felt like.
Yeah, a 14-point win is a great win, but they were more dominant than a 14-point win.
Yeah.
UCF did put up had some big plays that scored.
Yeah.
They had a big run broke out and scored, and they had a big pass that scored on it.
Yeah.
But I felt like really Kansas State kept them in check the whole game and kind of did whatever they wanted for the most part. So
yeah, getting Dylan Edwards back is, he's the best player on Kansas's team. Played at Colorado his first season, and then was kind of part of their 1-2 punch last season. But yeah, he's their number one guy now. Had 20 carries for 166 yards and a touchdown. So, maybe Kansas State isn't quite the bottom feeder if he's healthy.
Dude, Kleiman's a good coach. And Avery Johnson is good enough if he can just manage the ball to win games. And now you get your running back. They have great tight ends. Like, they have good receiver. Yeah, man. I think
he just makes them explosive. Dylan Edwards does. Like, I feel like they were really lacking any explosive back.
Yeah.
But it should unlock, I mean, coming into the season, they designed their entire offense around getting him the ball in space on the little screens and getting him out on the edges on like outside runs and stuff. And he's just been injured, so it's just been give Avery too much of the load, and we saw how that worked. He's not able to elevate his team very well.
Yeah. So they could turn it around here. They could pull it out and turn it around here. So we'll see.
Yeah. Other than that, Baylor, it was a one possession game in the fourth quarter. They were up 35-27, but pulled away to win 45-27 against Oklahoma State. Obviously got rid of Gundy last week. Oklahoma State did. So
showed more life this week.
Yeah, not surprising that they're, oftentimes you see an interim coach come in and just that change can help guys like buy back in and play a little bit harder, be a little more focused or whatnot. So Oklahoma State showed some life. We'll see if that continues. But Baylor just did what they needed to do. They got a road win in the Big 12, which is never anything to sneeze at.
No, not easy. And I do think that Sawyer Robinson can beat anybody with his arm if he needs to.
Yeah. 393 yards and 4 touchdowns it's
a good day.
It's just another day for him, but for the rest of us, it would be
unreal.
Best day of our lives. So, and then Utah, really rolled West Virginia 48-14, which, I wasn't surprised, but I was wondering, Utah's coming off of a difficult loss to Texas Tech. And then they're playing in Morgantown, which, as there's nothing out there. It's a pain in the butt to even get out and find that stadium. And so I was wondering maybe Utah would come out a little bit flat. No. Like
No,
they were ready 28-0 at halftime. Like they were,
they try to make a statement.
yeah.
Yeah. And, showed a lot of offense, showed a lot of passing, probably trying to show teams, hey, you can't just load the box on us. We can pass the ball. So you got to do that. Yeah, we still don't know about Utah.
Yeah. And you know, there were rumors that Dampier like missed a few days of practice before Texas Tech. And
Mm-hmm.
so, maybe it was just maybe was more healthy last week and that's why it looked better. I don't know. Like for me, when I analyze games, like if he's playing, I'm treating him unless you can like visually see him like
Hobbling or something.
hobbling, like I'm just gonna treat him like he's 100%. And I think that their offense still has a lot of work. The upcoming games, like they have ASU before they play BYU, which is gonna be a good litmus test for
We'll know really how good they are. I feel like in that game because ASU's
yeah.
got a great defense and a great offense. Like they're a complete team.
Hmm.
They've got kicker issues, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kickers had a good game and a bad game,
So who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, like that's if you can beat Arizona State, you are a contender.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
If you can play with them close, you're very dangerous.
Hmm.
So we'll know then. I still don't know. Like, are you more like the team that struggled on offense pretty much the whole game against Tech? I know you had a late touchdown and it was 13-10. Like, I understand that. But really struggled and had turnover issues and the Tech did not capitalize on.
Yep.
Or are you the team who can go throw for 4 touchdowns and beat people with your arm and you're like who? I don't know. I could not tell you right now.
Yeah, they've had really high highs against like UCLA and obviously against West Virginia, but then they've also had a completely awful half against Wyoming. And then, just a really bad, honestly, just whole game offensively against Texas Tech. So,
Yeah.
uh, and that just might be their identity is just an up and down offense that's explosive sometimes and at other times just struggles, 3-and-outs, turnovers, the whole thing. And I hope they're on a down week when they face BYU, man.
Me too. I want the win, baby.
Yeah.
I want the win. All right, who we got next?
Last game of the day, Iowa State, number 14, improved to 5-0, beating Arizona 39-14. And this was Arizona's first test, kind of a litmus test to see, like, if Arizona had taken any steps forward from last year. And honestly, it looked pretty brutal for Arizona this whole game. Like Iowa State had some explosive plays, and they're not a very explosive team. And Fafita was running around for his life, and
Which that's what happened to him in Provo last year, right?
yeah, and just really struggled to get Arizona's offense going. So I think Arizona, we can kind of like take a step back and be like, okay, they're probably on the bottom side of the conference was my biggest takeaway from this game.
Yeah, and Iowa State may be the best team in the conference still. It's so hard to judge them because they're just methodical and solid. They did look explosive against this team. And they're I mean, them or Tech are the team to beat right now, right? I feel like.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell with Arizona, but if you're giving up 39 to a methodical Iowa State team, it makes me think that you can be exposed on defense. You might have some tackling issues.
Yep.
Yeah. BYU's got to go there next weekend, and we'll see. I think that our defense causes problems for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought, I was kind of a believer in the Wildcats.
I wanted to believe.
I wanted to believe too.
Yeah.
Like Mulder and Scully over here.
Yeah. But no, I think we can hit the brakes on Arizona as doing anything of worth in the Big 12 after kind of watching all of their weaknesses really just get exposed by Iowa State, who is just they're the most like clinical team in the Big 12. Like I feel like there's lots of teams that have up and downs, but Iowa State's just a straight line. Like they don't ever dip too high or too low. They're just a straight line. They get things done. Rocco Becht is just surgical in how they run the offense. They're never behind in the chains. You never see them in third and longs, really. You never see them like doing anything outside of themselves, trying to and that's what makes them good.
Yeah.
Is not their ability to be explosive, but it's just their ability to, no matter what,
show up,
put themselves in a good situation,
control the line of scrimmage,
play reliable, smart football. Like you don't see I'm blanking on the head coach's name, Craig. Iowa State's
he's a big dude.
Right? They were looking for him. They're looking for him.
Campbell.
Yes, Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell. Like his team's always very fundamentally sound. You don't see them ever making. You don't ever see Iowa State make a mistake. It's like everything is like, oh well, they like you have to just beat them. Just like you just have to make a better play than them, and you just have to like try and stop Rocco Becht from just dicing him up.
Yeah,
dicing them up with the tight end. So
I put them in Tech at the top, man.
Yeah,
I think they're the top. Arizona State, BYU, you could put in that conversation, I think, too.
Yeah. And then the last game is the nightcap. BYU 24, Colorado 21.
We did not cover the spread. Man. Craig, why?
Couldn't get in the end zone on that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's too bad.
No, good thing for BYU. They got down 14-0 early.
Yeah.
Lots of momentum behind Colorado. You could tell Colorado was out for revenge in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Their fans were into the game. We'll just say that. You can go read the apology from the university if you don't know. But BYU got out, got punched in the mouth early, and settled in, played football, and won the game. And I feel like if they had wanted to score some points near the end, they may have. They just did they kind of went the Iowa State route. They ran the ball, possessed it. Really, the last possession of the game on offense, they are really in field goal range. And did you guys notice the little like show Will Ferrin out there warming up, show that team, call a timeout, and then run the punt team out there with no punt return?
Right.
Did you guys notice that little tactician move there? I thought that was pretty clever. But yeah, they didn't go for points there. They just went to let's pin you at the 2 and let our defense win.
Yeah.
But that's the most important thing is they got down behind with a young quarterback on the road, got punched in the mouth, just settled in, played football, won the game.
Yeah. And, it was, obviously they finally gave up a touchdown against ECU.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see them kind of just get kind of exposed early on, just
in
like
back-to-back quick drives too.
Yeah.
Felt like it was really fast.
Yeah. It just felt like Colorado schemed it up perfectly. They had the answers for BYU in the first quarter, which happens. Like, I think back to last season when BYU played Utah, they didn't know what quarterback to expect. They didn't know exactly how it was going to look. Utah comes out, scores 21 points in the first half, but you give once Jay Hill figures out what you're doing and he adjusts,
takes it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Jay Hill and I, went to the bathroom at the same time during halftime, during the Utah game. And I always joke that, I was the one who told him that the guy can't throw, but I didn't. I was way too scared to lean over and say, "Hey Jay, I don't think that quarterback can throw." And I'm sure he probably already had that figured out by the time
he might have
by the time he was standing next to me at the urinal. But yeah. So once Jay Hill figures out what you're trying to do, he'll adjust, and we saw that. We've seen BYU, I think, is one of the best third quarter teams in the country, offensively and defensively. And that a big part of that is, Jay Hill, Kalani, A-Rod.
A-Rod's done it for a long time,
guys. They don't panic. I feel like other coaching staffs might be like, oh no, we're down 14-0.
We got to start airing it out.
We're airing it out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our defense just doesn't have it today, but it's like, no, we're very patient and calm. And it's like, okay, no, we're gonna settle down. We're gonna figure this out. Are we gonna win the game? Who knows? It's football, but like we're going to like we're
The
not
best chance to win is to do what we do.
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
don't get panicked and outside of themselves, and they just methodically try and run the football. Bear had they really used Bear a lot in the run game. 15 carries for 98 yards. Like I feel like they were. I don't know if they were wanted to save that for later games, but it felt like okay, we're pushing the
Yeah, I feel like they've been calling his number a lot all year.
Yeah.
And some of them are him.
yeah.
Like he just takes off
I
in
felt
the
like
pocket.
it was more designed,
but there was
this
a
game.
lot of design this game.
Yeah.
Yep. And at 3rd and 16, he takes on 3 guys, converging on him, puts his helmet down, and gets it to a 4th and 1 that we're able to convert. Like, and on the road,
right,
trailing, not rattled.
Yeah.
He's still just Bear. Like he still just does what he does.
And I think that a huge part of that is Bear, but it's also the coaching staff and the team around him where, he's down 14-0. He's like, oh, I want to lead this team back. But instead, like, throughout the whole team, it was, no, we're okay. We got this. Oh,
Yeah.
Other game I was thinking of was Arkansas
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago. BYU gets down 14-0 very quickly. And it's like, oh no, we're going to get blown out. But it was like, no, everyone was like no one wants to start down 14-0, but there's never any panic when BYU is in those situations.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you just weather the storm, do what you do, go out and execute. Got to make a few plays here or there, but you don't have to try and win it all in one play. You know. So yeah, it was good, and it when I was at the game, and when we went and scored that touchdown before halftime.
Yeah.
I mean, even before that, I felt like the defense had settled in. We were gonna have a shot, but when that touchdown happened, I felt like everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna win." Like it just flipped. It just flipped. Like, oh, this is
like we righted the ship, and now we're
good to go.
We're good to go.
Did you guys did you guys notice? Maybe they didn't show it on TV as much at the end of the first half. They could have called intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
They did point that out a little bit.
Oh, did they on the broadcast?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because in the stands, we were like, he never left the tackle box. He threw it way far away from everybody just to end it. That's a loss of down play. And that's turnover on downs. BYU's there at like what, the 20, 25 or something from where that spot foul happened.
Yeah, really close.
For sure a field goal, or run a red zone play, run a smash concept, run something to the end zone.
Yeah. I feel like Kalani called it perfectly there because he took the timeout at the right time.
Let's make you do something here.
Yeah. So, and I think it worked. Like it should have been an intentional grounding and a loss of down. I'm not sure exactly how the rules work if BYU would have gotten a chance to.
They should have. I feel like they should have had a free play.
Yeah.
But that's my interpretation of the rules, which all my officiating experience amounts to 0 years and 0 games officiated. Yeah. But I have argued with many officials on the sideline over the years.
Whether the rules were correct or not. I mean, you're just arguing.
I was arguing. Oh, yeah.
Just, you got to argue. No matter what. Officials are paid to also, they're not just paid to get calls right on the field. They're paid for you to yell everything you can think about them.
There's an old commercial. We're going back like 10 years commercial about a referee, and he's just taking an earful from some coach screaming at him. They're like, where does he learn to hold up to this abuse or whatever? And then it cuts to him in his living room, and his wife is just like screaming at him. And it was like a beer commercial or something. He like just like cracks open a beer, like starts drinking it or something like that. Like, yeah, that's like part of the built-in training of referees. You gotta be able to take that wherever you're at.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. Oh, you go, Craig.
So I looked it up. It looks like it says it does not give the other team a down because it's a loss of down, which makes the penalty not. The penalty has to be on like a play that it'll be the same play for it to happen again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. A repeating down.
So it would have been just the end of half, but penalty yardage counts. I think I remember an Oklahoma State game a couple years back where they lost because of that. But I think there was also drama after that because the officials called that wrong in that situation.
Oh, okay.
So I think
they should have called it wrong again.
Yeah.
would have worked out very
No.
well for BYU.
No, but I did like Kalani called that timeout and then pointed out to the official, like, hey, the clock did not stop when you guys set the ball. It kept running, and I was here calling a timeout and
Yeah.
made them do something at
Yep.
least, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, we saw not Jacob Robinson. We saw Evan Johnson, who I see 0 on the field now, and I'm just like, oh, that's Jacob Robinson, because that's just what I've thought for 3 or 4 years. So I see. So I'm sorry, Evan. I'm getting used to you wearing 0. Not like I still see Jacob, which honestly, like Evan Johnson is amazing, and I feel like BYU really hasn't lost a beat
yeah.
there. Like he's stepped right into the role of, Jacob was our best cover corner for a few seasons, and Evans just stepped right up and, filled in seamlessly. I'm doing that. But yeah, Evan Johnson got a pick 6 late against ECU. So Kalani giving his defense a chance to put up some more points at halftime I loved it. Show
Yeah.
confidence in your defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I also like they kind of had the option to kick a field goal, make it a 6-point game
Right.
probably, and then kick off and give them the ball at the 25
Mm-hmm.
most likely, and then let them run, their offense there.
Right.
And instead they elected, let's pin this deep to much chagrin of Sam
Vanderhaar, man.
murdering his average. But it was a beautiful kick.
Oh, it was. He placed it as perfectly as you can.
Yeah. And then, they had no return guy back there because of the way they schemed that up.
Right.
Look at crafty Kalani, man. Crafty Kalani knows his stuff. It's like he's coached football for a long time.
Yeah. And coached at a very, very high level and knows how to use special teams to his advantage and will continue to do so.
But I feel like they're not taking the points, but kicking it is like, hey, put it the 2. Good luck scoring on our defense. Like our defense is that good.
Right. And, after those first 2 drives, they really only had one other drive that amounted to anything. They had what's his name? They had Salter just running backwards.
Oh, it was so bad.
For the entire second half. Just, Jack Kelly, Isaiah Glasker, all the edges on the team they were really disruptive in the second half, and he was super undisciplined, would never throw the ball away, and caught up to him.
That last play on that pick, Kelly gets there pretty dang quick, man. And I think he was just trying to throw it away, inside and low. And Glasker was like, nope, this is mine, baby. Like goes down, scoops it up. It was just a beautiful way to seal the game there.
Yeah.
Your 2 best players on defense, probably, right? Kelly and Glasker. One getting after the quarterback, one making an acrobatic dive for an interception. Just beautiful.
Yeah. One of the best linebacking tandems in the country. Like, honestly, I watch college football morning till late night on Saturdays, and I don't ever see.
As any American should.
Right, exactly. And I don't see a linebacking core doing the things like I don't see a 250-pound linebacker in Jack Kelly playing anywhere else. Like he's a freak of nature, how fast he moves at his size. And then Glasker looks like a defensive back, just like chasing down dudes.
Am I wrong on this? Glasker's 6'5". He's significantly taller than me. I'm 6'1.5", and he is several inches taller than me. Yeah. And he's got a big old frame, man. And he's a beast.
He is. It doesn't make sense how fast those guys are for how
big they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that we've, fans here locally have kind of been like, well, best linebackers are at Utah. Don't think that's true this year.
No.
Don't think it was true last year. Oh, the best tight ends are at Utah. They might have the best duo in the state in Andrews and Bentley. They've got a good duo. I think that's their names.
Yeah.
There. But Carson Ryan, man, give me Carson Ryan all day long. Think we got the tight ends. Think we got the linebackers. D-line, we got our D-line. Our D-line is doing a lot of different things. Jay Hill's defense is complicated, and he has the D ends crash and B a lot. He has people looping and twisting a lot. Sometimes they're getting home, sometimes not, but what they're doing is they're making life really hard for the O-line, and that makes it really hard to get to backers.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy who knows a little bit about O-line, but telling you that's dude, I just love everywhere we're at. We've always had the receiver quarterback advantage, I feel like, and There was all this talk about their O-line. I still think their O-line is very talented. They've got a couple guys there who probably play in the NFL, which is great.
Yeah.
But bro, give me Jota, man. Give me Bruce Mitchell. Like, give me Andrew Gentry. Like, I just love our team, man. Like, I wouldn't trade anybody for anybody else here locally.
Yeah. It's that every position group is super solid.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, defensive end, you know, we lost Batty and Banya.
Yeah.
And
both still on professional teams right now.
Right. And like offensive line, we lost a lot of guys.
Yeah.
From last year.
Caleb Etienne was killing it. Right. Even Kime looked really good last year.
Yeah, Kime and Pay's
like 5-year, like just solid dude for you.
But like the offensive line hasn't missed a beat. If anything, they've improved.
Yeah.
Like running the football, we look really good. Hope LJ's okay after getting. It looked like a rib shot to me on TV, like just on that. You
probably got a way better look on it than I did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Hopefully, it was just like the wind getting knocked out of him. I was very panicked. I was, you know, if there's one guy we can't afford to lose, it's LJ Martin, especially with Sione also out right now.
Dude, hey, I like Enoch though. I do like Enoch, and you guys didn't. P-Rex got in. Got a carry, and there was a false start, wasn't it, or something that called it back, and then they took him right out. I was like, oh,
yeah, that was
finally
brutal.
got a Preston Rex touch, and it got wiped out.
Yeah, it looked like
it was open, bro.
The first like second of the play before they blew the whistle, it looked like he was going to go for a nice chunk too.
Yeah, he's done it, dude. I'm telling you, he can do it. So I mean, obviously, LJ is the starter and the dude for a reason. He's for sure the best running back we have.
Yes,
but I do like guys in that room, man.
Yeah.
There's multiple guys who can get it done for us.
Yeah.
Enoch will do the dirty work, man. Enoch will pass pro for you. He'll put his face down and just go get you the yards. Like, So, and you know, Sione, I think will be back relatively soon, and hopefully LJ is healthy. So,
yeah. I assume he is. I mean, if not, we gotta send him to Germany or bring. Yeah, I don't care what you have to do to get LJ healthy and play him, but yeah, that was the only thing that concerned me from that entire game was when he got hit and came out for. I think he came back in later in the game.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But you know, just hoping that there's no ill long-lasting effects there.
Yeah. So yeah. Should we talk about quick matchups this week real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go week 6.
Yeah, we have. Let's see. Let's start with the most intriguing game, if there is one.
Cincinnati, Iowa State, I believe, is the.
Yeah. I don't know what the spread is, Craig. I don't know if you can pull that up.
Cincinnati 1.5.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, it's basically a pick'em.
Yeah, and I think if I remember right, that line
the week to get into sports gambling.
Yeah, this. Yeah, I like Cincinnati a lot this week. I think they'll be able to. I mean, obviously, a 1.5 point spread means that Vegas thinks they're going to be in the game to the end with Iowa State, and I agree. I think
they did look good this past week.
Yeah, Sorsby has improved a lot, and I honestly I think Cincinnati might win outright,
dude. I'm down. Like, let's see it.
Yeah.
It could happen. Kansas is a good team.
Yeah,
they beat a good team.
Yeah, and yeah, it's at Nippert Stadium, and yeah, I mean, I think earlier I saw that Cincinnati was favored by some books. So,
from a rooting perspective,
yeah,
we obviously want BYU to be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also want Iowa State to be undefeated until they play us, so that there's like a 1 loss? And then maybe from a rooting perspective, you almost want, I mean, I don't want this, but you'd want the other team to lose the Big 12 championship so they both have 1 loss.
Right, yeah.
And then you both go to the playoffs. So from a rooting perspective, do we want Iowa State?
So like best case scenario for the Big 12 and BYU is BYU
stays undefeated.
Is undefeated through the regular season. Iowa State's only loss is to BYU, and then they win in the Big 12 championship game.
Okay.
Or with a different team other than Iowa State too, like
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Yeah.
There we go. So right now, for your undefeated matchups at the end of the year / Big 12, it's either Tech, Iowa State, or BYU.
Yeah.
Because everyone else got a loss.
Yeah.
Or two.
I would say probably if teams that are still have a chance at getting an at-large bid in the college football playoff are those three teams. It's BYU, Texas Tech, Iowa State, because they're all still undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they lose one game
to one of the others,
then they can still make the playoff at like 11-1, I would say.
Hey, Houston's still undefeated too, Kev.
Oh, that game was.
They played Tech this. The Oregon State Houston. You're not on the Houston train, huh? Like I am.
I wanted to be till I was up way too late.
I know.
Friday night watching Houston just bumble around for 3 quarters, doing nothing.
It was rough.
They decided to finally, you know, I was going to turn it off until they scored the touchdown to get it back within. I was like, oh, okay, we'll see. I think I probably dozed off when they tied it.
Yeah.
And then woke up, thought they were going to lose at the end of the game. Got lucky, but
yeah, I think you're right. It's Tech, BYU, Iowa State. You want those teams to be as perfect as they can be.
Ideally, all of them have 10 plus wins at the end of the regular season, and you'll probably should get 2 Big 12 teams into the playoff.
Yeah. And no embarrassing losses to anybody, right? Like everything is a win, or that your one loss is competitive at least.
So
there's your most intriguing matchup. I think that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Couple quick ones that we can go through. Arizona, Oklahoma State.
Arizona better win.
Arizona should win. If not, let's not talk about either of those teams for the rest of the season if Arizona loses that game.
Good.
Okay. Texas Tech, Houston. Maybe Houston was just in a look ahead spot. Like if you're trying to if
you're a Houston fan,
if you're trying to talk yourself into them potentially being in a game with Texas Tech this week, it's like, oh, they were completely overlooked Oregon State.
They're so excited to play the number 11 Texas Tech team.
Exactly. It's at home. I'm sure, I'm not sure how
there will be tens of thousands of fans there.
I think.
Tech fans. I mean, Houston fans.
Right. Exactly. But Houston's 4-0. So we learned a lot about them against Oregon State, but this is really their first real test, and we're going to see, can they hang with the big boys or not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it 6:00.
Yeah. And I believe Texas Tech had a bye. So I'm interested to see if Morton, which
one plays? Which QB goes out there?
Because I think Morton was in concussion protocol. And so
so concussion protocol in the NCAA is there's a 5-day period, nothing. Then you test.
Right.
You can fail that test, and then you have to wait a couple of days or 1 day and test again until you're cleared.
Yeah.
So he should, in theory,
I would imagine he's back,
unless it's something crazy.
Yeah.
And I think who do you start?
I mean,
you got to go with the vet, right?
I assume so, but
if he struggles, man.
Hammond looks so stinking good.
He did, man.
Against Utah, that it's like, man, I would really like to see. He's just a freshman, but I'd really like to see what that freshman quarterback looks like.
Yeah, he looked more dynamic. At least got the ball out quick, made decisions. I don't know. Yeah. Texas solid team though, solid D line, great wide receiver, just across the board.
Texas Tech should roll.
Yeah.
Colorado, TCU. TCU is a team that I had high on the list and has slowly kind of
ticked down a little bit.
Ticked down. Colorado, and we saw them give BYU a fight. We saw them kind of turn it around, beating Wyoming by a lot. But I think TCU's probably got this one in the bag.
I think TCU wins. I do think Salter has a better game because I don't know that TCU really has a great defense. I think more of our belief in their defense being better this year was the fact that North Carolina is truly horrible.
Oh,
like truly horrible. Yeah. So I we'll see. Salter, I think he'll score more points. I do think Texas or TCU wins this though.
Yeah, Hoover should have no problem with that defense. And then we have Kansas UCF.
How is Kansas only a 4.5 point favorite in this one?
I don't know. Books love UCF.
Really?
Except for when they're on the road at Kansas State. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think
it is a home game for UCF.
Maybe it's just we don't think Kansas's defense is that good, and UCF is good enough to hang around.
Maybe. Yeah, I think Daniels will beat the spread. So that'd be my guess on that.
Yeah, me too. And then Kansas State Baylor. It's at Baylor.
Baylor's only a 6.5 point favorite there too.
Yeah, I think Vegas does like Kansas State. I think they've been favored in all of their games, even though they've lost.
Well, yeah, 3 of them.
We'll see if power ratings are real or not. I mean, obviously, like we said before, getting their running back is huge for them.
Yeah, it's big. It may give them some confidence to overlook like crazy game in Ireland and
Plus, I mean, Baylor's defense gave up 27 points to Oklahoma State, who has really hadn't sniffed the end zone in weeks.
That's true.
So, maybe Kansas State can put up some points, and this one might be close, but Baylor should win this one going away.
Yeah. It's our last one, BYU, West Virginia.
Yeah, Friday night, game before conference. West Virginia's coming off a real tough loss to Utah. They have to come all the way across the country now.
On a short week. Which means they travel Wednesday. If they follow the same protocol BYU does, which I'm sure they do because it's all based in science.
Yeah.
They will fly out Wednesday, sleep Wednesday in Utah.
Right.
Do whatever they're going to do Thursday. It's probably a combination of walkthrough. And, probably honestly just walkthrough, probably nothing else. And then sleep Thursday, play Friday night late. That's not a recipe for success off the get-go, let alone they're totally in rebuild mode, I feel like, with Rich Rod there trying to rebuild them.
Yeah, they are. They've their quarterback Nico Marquiol.
Sure.
I have no idea how to say his name.
That sounds right.
But very much a runner as well as a passer.
This is going to be the Justin Kirkland breakout game right here.
I hope so.
Because he was healthy. He was healthy enough to play. He played less than 10 plays, but it was not the scheme to play him. It was get outside the box and run, try and use speed to get outside the box and then throw the ball, scramble and throw the ball. So if you're going to run your quarterback and you're going to run in between the tackles, this is the Justin Kirkland game. This is where we'll see Justin Kirkland actually get a chance to have a significant impact in the game. So I'm pumped about that.
Yeah. And, we've seen BYU's offense gradually take more and more steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I think Bear has a chance to really, if they decide to, open it up, maybe they are just saving everything for, Texas Tech, Utah, and Iowa State down the road. But, I think we could see BYU put up.
Well, if Utah is throwing for, how much was it? Like 299, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. There's definitely an opportunity there because they had not thrown like that very consistently.
I think we could see BYU's offense, win this game like a 42 to 10 type of game.
Yeah. How many touchdowns does Bear have on the year? I know he's got 10 total, but some of those are rushing.
Does he have 4 rushing touchdowns?
So 6 passing touchdowns?
Yeah, he has 6 passing, it looks like.
And 4 rushing.
Yeah, he's kind of a touchdown merchant.
Yeah, he is. LJ's got to be secretly hating him.
Right, yeah. I would.
I
like,
would
dude,
too.
A-Rod, give me the ball. Or Bear.
A-Rod, there is this play called running back draw too. There's a quarterback draw, but there's also a running back draw. Now I get it. When you swing your running back out or you run him on a little flare or some kind of over route or something, it does take another person out of the box in the red zone because it's most likely man defense. I get it. But LJ's got to be like, come on, man. Have you seen on Twitter that if he throws for 20 touchdowns, the troll account Gary Patterson, not Patterson, Patterson, will read the Book of Mormon.
All right.
So we've all got to keep an eye on this. Could be a major surge ahead. 6 passing touchdowns so far. If he can match Utah's production with 4, that puts him halfway there with a lot of opportunities left. Can he get to 20 on the year? What do you think, Craig?
Absolutely.
Which of us will? I think Gary Patterson is supposed to be a Baylor fan. Are we going to Waco? Should we deliver a Book of Mormon to him?
Oh, yeah.
Hand deliver
Book
Put
of
a little
Mormon
bow on it.
Yeah, leave our testimonies on the inside of the cover.
Yes.
It's a nice touch always.
Yeah.
And if maybe we could practice team teaching the first discussion, the first lesson.
Yeah.
So
he'll need. Yeah, Bear throws. He'll need to throw some touchdowns this game, in my opinion, to get to that 20.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he throws 3 this weekend.
He's his own worst enemy, where he's a touchdown merchant.
Yeah.
With his legs.
Like, just go down at the 1.
Yes.
And then just try and little short screen to Hagen or Chase, or
let them do the dirty work.
I mean, they have the little where Chase comes in on the motion.
Like a tunnel motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then pops right back out. One that Cody Epps did. And
at Notre Dame.
BYU's had receivers able to do that. Let's just get a few of those for Bear.
Yeah.
Show the receivers some love.
Yeah, Craig.
What does it take for us to get Gary Patterson to watch General Conference this weekend?
I think we should message him.
Yeah. What will it take in the West Virginia game?
14 passing touchdowns.
Yeah. That would do it. I'm sure that would do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we tweet at him? We could tweet at him.
Let's do it.
Yes, we should.
Gary, what is it? It's 11 o'clock at night here in Utah.
Yeah.
That means it's like 10. No, that means it's 12:30 in Texas, if that's really where he's from.
Gary Patterson's got nothing better to do this weekend.
Let's see here. At Gary Patterson. Oh, man. He's not popping up on my... Oh, here he is. He's a Big 12 propagandist, and Gary Patterson, BU.
Okay.
What will it take from BYU in the WVU matchup this week to get you to watch General Conference with us? Question mark. I got to pick.
Yeah.
Such things already created on BYU social media?
Sure. There has to be.
We got the best social media team in America, right? Oh, yeah. There's lots of options here. It's a Y, and then he goes to call me. I'm going to do that one. Here we go,
That's
Gary. Okay, Craig, this is a genius move by you. If it blows up, I'm blaming you, though. So we just tweeted at Gary Patterson. Hey, and the cut dropped 56 minutes ago while we started this podcast. So there you go. You got something to do tonight.
Celebrate. Hey, Craig, I got something for you. What is Bear Bachmeyer going to do in Arizona next week when everyone yells Bear down?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Is there like a, there's not like a horns down for U of A, right? Is there U of A hand signal? I don't think
I have to ask ASU fans.
ASU fans would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would definitely know. Bear down.
I mean, 2 weeks out still. Let's see if we can come up with some way to troll Arizona.
I know a guy who has Bear's number, so if we can get it to him in time, we can figure this out.
Yeah.
Do we just print shirts with Bear's face on it and then just down? Because you've seen those U of A shirts, right, where it just says Bear down under the logo. So I think we just need.
That's actually a genius idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to U of A.
You're going to be bearing down.
Dude, maybe I need to get a shirt printed up.
Yeah.
For my U of A trip.
Okay, we have
it's
2
just
weeks.
Bear's face down. dude, I can make this shirt and get it ordered tomorrow. Well, I mean, I could do it tonight too, but this is not hard.
No, it's not
This is
hard.
not a hard thing to do. Should I text Hunter Miller at 12 o'clock at night? Like, Hunter, I need you to design me a shirt with Bear's face on it that says down underneath below it.
He'll get it. He'll want one too.
Hunter will know.
He'll want one too.
Maybe we should get the whole crew of us to get this going.
Yeah. Are we still recording, Craig?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have devolved into talk about potential T-shirt smack designs at Arizona.
Gary Patterson and
tweeting at Gary Patterson at 11 o'clock at night. He's gonna think we've had like way too much root beer.
Yeah,
be tweeting him at this hour.
We think he even knows what General Conference is?
Bro, I suspect he might be a Utah fan. Maybe a convert, but he does a lot of Utah defending over there. So I don't know. He might be very familiar with General Conference, is what I'm saying. So who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Last thoughts on the Big 12, where we're at right now.
Great spot in terms of total conference outlook. Like getting teams to the playoff. Obviously, they will get one. Getting two is kind of the storyline that I'm watching so far. Ohio State's able to handle business against Cincinnati. Texas Tech's able to take care of Houston. BYU's able to take care of West Virginia. Like, we're still alive for we're getting two teams in. This is the weekend where things can start to flip, where Texas Tech's like down in the third quarter to Houston. That won't shock me. If Iowa State's in a dogfight with Cincinnati, I mean, I just picked Cincinnati to win outright. But like that's what I'm watching outside of like, you know, how BYU does in the Big 12. Like that's kind of the other storyline, because this conference should get the national respect that it deserves. And I don't think they really got credit for last year, because ASU kind of won a conference where everyone went 10-2 or 9-3 and, you know, only got one team in. But I mean, they're good. They can play with anyone.
Yeah, I agree. Another storyline that plays into all of this is Virginia beating Florida State. Now the ACC, they're obviously their prize pony is Miami, who is very good and very deserving to beat the playoffs.
Yeah.
Clemson is not.
They're gone.
They're gone.
They're dead.
They're out.
Yep.
Florida State still ranked, still possibly in the conversation, but looked very beatable in there. Trying to think who else in the ACC could really be your
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech has looked good.
Was down 20-3 against Wake Forest, Wake Forest is not a good team.
They came back, but
they came back and won in overtime. But like,
that's not a quality performance.
No, it was a bad performance from Georgia Tech.
So SMU now they lost again to the Big 12 team.
Yeah, they have two
Baylor,
Big 12
right?
losses. Yeah.
So really, that Florida State loss could end up being significant, especially if it turns into more losses in this whole thing, where you get the Big 12 a little more respect, right? Like,
yeah,
you got some more undefeated teams at the end of the road than, you know, Florida State's stumbling at Virginia, and Georgia Tech is struggling to fight their way out of a wet paper bag with Wake Forest. Like, yeah, I don't know. Those are interesting storylines that point to, hey, the Big 12 is legit. Put some respect on the name a little bit, you know?
100%. And Big 12 teams, go out there and actually schedule someone. Please, Texas Tech, looking at you.
Texas Tech.
And Utah, you scared little chickens. Go out there. I mean, you guys used to schedule good teams. Now you're trying to take the easy way out. So, yeah, go out there, schedule good teams, and in the future, so we can
imagine where Tech would be ranked if they had beat, like, I mean, Vanderbilt looks great right now too. Like, they're looking great, but like if they had beat an SEC team, like they had beat a Kentucky or somebody, in the beginning, like that just looks so much better on your resume than,
or like I don't know, a team in Florida, like, or like a Carolina school, Clemson, or I mean, just go out there and try and
go beat up a Purdue.
Yeah. Go Boston College.
Yeah. Like, there's plenty of options.
Yeah. I mean, BYU played Stanford, and Stanford is a wet fart, but
hey, well, We had no idea they would be so terrible when we scheduled.
We didn't. At least we tried.
We did try.
Yeah.
And we also took their quarterback, their punt returner, their wide receiver, and probably their best DN prospect, and Newsy. So,
yeah.
So we didn't do them any favors to help ourselves out there with a quality matchup. But anyway,
worked out for us.
It worked out for us. Craig, final thoughts on the Big 12 as we're at right now?
I was going to ask, it feels like, at least in the couple last years, the Big 12's been so close in the playing field from top to bottom. Would you guys consider it that same level, or would you consider it a little bit more bottom to top? There's a little bit more of a gap.
I feel like there's really 4 teams right now that can contend, and then there's a couple teams that are like, oh, we gotta wait and see, right? Obviously, Arizona State, Iowa State, BYU,
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech I said last, but they're probably honestly the top dog. In there, and then Kansas is interesting.
Yeah,
and Utah is still interesting to me.
Cincinnati
is interesting because they're really that Nebraska loss was still their only loss.
Yeah,
and props to them for playing somebody. I mean, not that Nebraska's been dominant, but they're always solid. Like they always put out a good product. So, and then I feel like there is a big gap where, like last year, how many teams had 9 wins or 8 wins last year?
It felt like, we had like Kansas State, ASU, Colorado, Iowa State, BYU, right? And then, what were there? It was Baylor and Texas Tech were still alive that last weekend. They needed like the dominoes to fall.
But they could still play in the championship.
But they could have still played in the championship had things gone the right way.
And I don't think we're going to have that same scenario this year. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are going to shake out one way or another throughout the season. And I think we'll have a more dominant, 3 possible teams could get in the championship.
And there's a lot worse teams with everyone getting fired.
Yeah.
Like last season, like Frost is in a new spot, like trying to think of that, like West Virginia, like a lot of these teams like have been trending down, and then this is the year with the first year head coach, they've kind of bottomed out. And so I think there's a lot more bottom level teams
because of in rebuild mode. Yeah. And in theory, you should be able to rebuild quick with transfer portal, NIL, but not really. The transfer portal is not always prime time to go to. And then if you're not in the transfer portal game early with money ready to go, you're going to get the second round, third round kind of guys of the transfer portal, tranches there. So you might get hired late in this, like Stanford had no time to rebuild. Like they picked the absolute worst time to make a coaching change.
Well, and let's see there. I can't remember who it was, but did Malzahn get fired before the season ended?
I'm not sure.
Or I can't remember when his firing was, but like when it takes you a second to get your head coach in, and then by the time you've hired a head coach, all the good players in the portal are done. So you really have to wait. And then so a lot of these teams have kind of bottomed out. But as the league continues, like this is the second year with all 16, the more we go, the more it will even out, because like the teams who are spending and doing football the right way, like, I mean, I think we can all agree BYU's up there as far as like competitive NIL, great place to play football, winning tradition. Texas Tech spending out of their, I mean, there's money growing on trees in Lubbock, I guess, and they're spending it
on oil pumps. But yes.
And
but hey, respect to UTech. That's not a shot at UTech. That's respect to you. Way to get in the game and get competitive.
Right, so exactly.
It's all above board now. So
the Big 12 needs teams to go out there and do that. And Texas Tech is doing it. And like, I'm not hating on it. Like, yeah, it sucks if BYU goes to Lubbock and loses because of that. But like, I'm not hating on it because they can do it. They need to do it. And they'll probably be the best team in the Big 12 for years to come.
Yeah.
If they continue to spend it at that kind of level.
Do you think it gets to a point, and maybe we're at this point, but do you think it gets to a point where it's like, if you got a coach who is quality and has a bad year or is struggling, instead of firing him and rebuilding this whole, now you got to get a general manager in place, and you got to get NIL strategists in place, and you got to get all these people in place depending on how your programs run. Instead of doing that, is it better to just go hit up the boosters and be like, hey, we need to be better with NIL, or, like whatever it might be, or look up your strategy with NIL. Like, how are your rev sharing? Are you giving enough to football? Because I've heard through the grapevine that Oklahoma State was maybe not giving football as much of the rev share pie as they could have, and that's kind of what put them in this situation.
Right.
So get to a point where your coaching is important, but if you've got a guy who's done it and can do it, is it better to just reevaluate your NIL and transfer portal strategy, your recruitment strategy? Because once you blow that puppy up, now it's a lot of pieces to put together. It's not just a new coach, it's a whole new system.
Right. And you look at a guy like Matt Campbell, where he's just kind of an institution at Iowa State. Took him 5 seasons to, build them up to being a top level team in the Big 12. But since 2020, I think they have like 3 or 4 10 wins, or like I guess last year was the first 10-win season, but like they've won 9 games consistently.
They like, even if they're winning 8 games,
they beat peak Oklahoma.
Yeah.
With Kyler or Baker or Jalen or whoever was there at the time. Like they've beaten those teams. And so like he's just kind of the institution there.
Yeah.
And so and like you look at Kalani, all the teams that have these good coaches, and then could have had opportunities to let them go, or had those guys left, but they've stayed at those programs, and now I feel like those are the teams that are rising to the top.
Yes, you're absolutely
in the Big
right.
12
you're
right
absolutely right. The one exception to that might be Utah, but I don't think that's 100. There's a lot of pieces up there that, in my opinion, are out of sync.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Like, you could have had people who are upset, like, oh, Kalani went 5-7, and it's like, well, in 2020 he won this many games. Like, oh, well, that doesn't count because of COVID or whatever. Well, the next year, he also won 9 games or whatever.
Right.
On it, like it's, you stick with the guy, and listen, he's A-Rod's sticking around when he's had interest from people after coaching Zach and Jaron back to back, right? He stuck around. You add Jay Hill and you managed to keep him around so far. But then you look at like who's who's just helping out, like Gary Anderson,
right?
Like he's bringing. It seems like he's retaining and bringing in more people, and they're feel welcomed and supported, and they're like,
right.
There's a lot of
TJ
Woods. You add Gilbride. You add.
Yeah.
It feels like we've kept the big pieces and upgraded some of the smaller ones. No one talks about Dave George as the GM, really. Honestly, like I haven't. Other than us at Cook Connect, I haven't heard anyone else really talk about Dave.
Right.
Dave is a very important piece with everything that's happening. He's really good at what he does. You add him in, and then the strength and conditioning staff has gotten so much better. So yeah, Kalani does, like, you've stuck with him and you've allowed him to continue to build, and you're seeing, you're reaping the harvest of like all of that, what you've sown with him by letting him build his thing and bring in more quality people.
Yeah. 100%. And like, there are still like the young like Dillingham is quickly turning Arizona State into a team that should, like we talked about before, like high talent pool in the Phoenix area. Like he's turning Arizona State into a place where people want to stay home and play. And like I feel like, those like 4 or 5 teams that we've talked about are really going to be the ones to like push the Big 12 into this new era of
P3. Is that what's going to be?
P3, P4. Hopefully, start to level the playing field out between the SEC and the Big 10. Maybe pick them off.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see it. I think NIL and the transfer portal, it's just the voters and the national pundits need to clue into it a little bit. And and to be fair, in order to do that, we got to go beat some dudes convincingly in the postseason, or schedule them like you said, and beat them convincingly. We got to give them a reason to recognize it. But people who are paying attention, it does feel like things have shifted.
BYU's going to be recruiting. BYU's recruiting right now.
Yeah.
And like Texas Tech is.
My gosh, dude.
And like,
You would have told me 3-4 years ago, we'd like, oh yeah, you're going to have like a top 20 recruiting class, and you're going to have a 5-star quarterback, and you're going to have arguably the best tight end in 3 classes when Brock.
Right.
You know, you go 25, 26, 27. I think he's the guy everybody would want. And I have some insider info there. Like, I really believe that. I don't know if I would have 100% believed you, but they are killing it right now.
I love it when LDS talent is good.
Yes.
Like, that's going to help out a ton. But
missionaries, stay locked in. Go get the talent out there now and get the future talent too, right? Work hard.
Yeah. A lot of these teams are on the way up. And so, you know, it's never been a better time to be a fan of these Big 12 teams.
Amen. All right. I think that's all we got, right? I don't know. We went for a while there, and we went on some strange and wild paths. If you stuck with us this long, thank you so much. Please hit the like and the subscribe. Help us grow this thing. It's a great way to support the program. If you don't understand how that works or know how that works, go to KuConnect.com, click to become a subscriber, read all about what we do, what we've done, how we, help support the players and help support the program and what we do here. We're not just another media outlet, right? We have a different kind of mission than that. And we're pretty good at getting you the inside scoop, whether it's recruiting, coaching, scheme. You have a hard time finding people who break it down better than what we do over at the Discord there with stats, analytics, game reviews, just insider info in general. So go check it out. Thanks for sticking with us, and go Cougs.